Welcome back to day 2 of our Dream Castle painting inspired by Klee, where we are taking a closer look at his famous painting titled Castle and Sun, which is inspired by ancient Roman architecture. You will be creating your own version of a dream castle by use of geometric shapes and bright colors. Last class, you carefully cut out these geometric shapes that we are using as templates. Today, we will be using these templates to begin building our dream castle. Start by writing your name on the back of your drawing paper using a pencil. There will be one rule when building your castle, and that is that it should have symmetry. If we take a look at these examples of architecture that have symmetry, we will see an invisible vertical line that goes down the center of each of these buildings. From there, everything on the left side is equal to everything that is on the right side. Symmetry creates a structure that is very balanced, which is one of the very important principles of art. To begin your dream castle, you must locate the center of your design. You will have to use your artist's eye and eyeball where the middle of your paper is. You may begin with whatever shape you would like to use. However, whatever shape you draw on one side of your castle, you have to draw on the other side of the castle. This will ensure that your castle is symmetrical and balanced. You must start at the bottom and work your way up. Also, you should include every shape that we have cut out. Notice how I'm using a Sharpie marker for my demonstration. The only reason I'm using that instead of a pencil is so that you can see the lines I'm drawing. You should use a pencil and draw very, very lightly when drawing your castle. I would like to show you one other thing before we fast forward, and that is allowing some of your shapes to overlap. Here I am overlapping this triangular shape on top of some other rectangular shapes. I want the triangle to appear as if it's in front of these other rectangular shapes. So where it has overlapped, I'm going to erase. Now it's time to fast forward, and while we watch, I would like you to pay close attention to the symmetry and balance in my design, not only in the placement of shapes, but the shapes that I'm using. One other thing we should consider is the law of gravity when we're building our castle. Let's watch. Once you have built the basic structure of your castle, now it's time to add some details. Here are several examples of different buildings and architecture that once Klee found inspiration in. Notice all of these intricate details, things like windows, arches, and columns. These are all things you can consider in adding to your dream castle. This is your chance to be creative and let your design stand out from others. The rule of symmetry still applies, so whatever you draw on one side of your castle, you have to draw on the other. I ended up using some of my larger geometric shapes as a straight edge. That way my lines were nice and straight. You could also use a ruler for that as well. Or you could just draw freehand. Either way, you are using a pencil and drawing very, very light. It's time to fast forward again. This completes day 2 of tracing our shapes to build our dream castle. Let's take a minute to recap. You are creating a castle that is symmetrical, so you must first locate the middle of your paper to begin tracing your shapes. Then, from there, every shape you put on one side, you are putting on the other side. You must also use a pencil and draw very, very lightly. You should consider the law of gravity and try to incorporate all of the geometric shapes that we have cut out. When you have finished creating your overall structure, you will begin to add details like windows, columns, and arches. Now it's time to begin.